Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, November 6, 2023. A lot of stuff to go over. We have NFL, college football, look ahead to Monday Night Football today. We have college basketball. We'll go over those line projections. NBA, NHL, soccer, golf, NASCAR, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with the NFL. We will go over everything from the weekend and look ahead to tonight's Monday night game. So, Chiefs over the Dolphins 21-14 in Frankfurt, Germany. Ravens destroy the Seahawks 37-3. Browns over the Cards 27-0. Texans over the Bucks 39-37. Saints over the Bears 24-17. Vikings over the Falcons 31-28. Packers over the Rams 20-3. Commanders over the Patriots 2017. Colts over the Panthers 27-13. Raiders over the Giants 30-6, Eagles over the Cowboys 28-23, and the Bengals over the Bills 24-18. All right, tonight, 8 o'clock on ABC and ESPN, you have the Jets hosting the Chargers. My projection for this game is Jets by 3.5 total, 42 and 13/20. And the Jets are getting 3.5 total, 39.5. I absolutely love the Jets here. I don't get why the Chargers are favored. They get too much favoritism in the market because of an overrated quarterback that's not as good as Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. He's on that second tier with Allen and Dak and guys like that. Like, come on. I'm sick and tired of talking about the Chargers and how much favoritism they get in the betting market and just from the media in general. Justin Herbert's treated like he's the golden boy, and they're going to lose tonight. Give me the Jets plus 3.5 and plus 156 outright, baby. And I did give out the Jets as my underdog pick of the week the other day, but I just wanted to go on a little bit of a Chargers tandem because I can't stand the respect they get, and they don't deserve it because they're 3-4, and they have a terrible head coach, and they're just full of pathetic excuses. All right, now move on to college football. We will go over the results from the weekend. So Friday, Boston College over Syracuse 17-10. Wyoming over Colorado State 24-15. Saturday, number 1 Ohio State over Rutgers 35-16. Number 7 Texas over number 23 Kansas State 33-30 in overtime. Number 10 Ole Miss over Texas A&M 38-35. Clemson over number 15 Notre Dame 31-23. Number 17 Tennessee over UConn 59-3. Arkansas over Florida 39-36 in overtime. Indiana over Wisconsin 2014. Michigan State over Nebraska 2017. South Carolina over Jacksonville State 38-28. Campbell loses bad at North Carolina 59-7. Sam Houston over Kennesaw State 24-21. Number 18 Utah over Arizona State 55-3. Georgia Tech over Virginia 45-17. Temple over Navy 32-18. Army upsets number 25 Air Force 23-3. So Air Force is a fraud. UAB over FAU 45-42. UTSA over North Texas 37-29. Memphis over South Florida 59-50. Arkansas State over Louisiana, 37-17. Number 2, Georgia over number 12, Missouri, 30-21. Number 4, Florida State over Pitt, 24-7. Number 22, Oklahoma State over number 9, Oklahoma, 27-24 in the final Bedlam game that was scheduled before Oklahoma moves to the SEC. Number 11, Penn State over Maryland, 51-15. Number 13, Louisville over Virginia Tech, 34-3. Number 24, Tulane over East Carolina, 13-10. Illinois over Minnesota, 27-26. Iowa over Northwestern, 10-7. UMass over Merrimack, 31-21. Houston over Baylor, 25-24 in overtime. UCF over Cincinnati, 28-26. James Madison over Georgia State, 42-14. Coastal Carolina over Old Dominion, 28-24. Auburn over Vanderbilt, 31-15. Charlotte over Tulsa, 33-26 in overtime. Southern Miss over Real Monroe, 24-7. Hawaii over Nevada, 27-14. Texas State over Georgia Southern, 45-24. Number 6, Oregon over Cal, 63-19. Liberty over Louisiana Tech, 56-30. Mexico State over Middle Tennessee, 13-7. That's a disgusting final score. App State over Marshall, 31-9. UNLV over New Mexico, 56-14. Number 21, Kansas State over Iowa State, 28-21. West Virginia beats BYU, 37-7. Utah State over San Diego State, 32-24 in double overtime. Number 3, Michigan over Purdue, 41-13. Number 5, Washington over number 20, USC, 52-42. Kentucky over Mississippi State, 24-3. SMU over Rice, 36-31. Number 8, Alabama over number 14, LSU, 42-28. NC State over Miami, 20-6. Western Kentucky over Utah, 21-13. Stanford over Washington State, 10-7. Number 16, Oregon State over Colorado, 26-19. Fresno State over Boise State, 37-30. And Arizona over number 19, UCLA, 27-10. Alrighty. Now we'll move on to college basketball. It is opening day of the season. The college basketball season prediction show will drop this afternoon. So stay tuned for that. So we have a couple of random games that are just against non-Division 1. So 11 o'clock you have Spalding IUPUI, 11:30 St. John's Long Island Hofstra, 12 o'clock Fort Lauderdale Troy, North American Stephen F. Austin at 12:30, 1 o'clock Kansas Christian and Prairie View A&M, 4:30 True TV from Vegas, Georgia, Oregon. My line is Oregon by 13. I didn't do totals because I really don't like doing totals the first month of the season because they're skewed. Oregon's giving 6.5, totals 139.5. I'm going to lay the 6.5 with Oregon for this one. They're just better than Georgia, hands down. 5:30 Pac-12 Network, Glenfield, Oregon State. 6 o'clock John Jay College, Penn, Riviera, and UMass Lowell. 6:30 Big Ten Network, Stanford at number 3 Purdue. I have Purdue by 26 and it's 19.5. I'm going to lay the points with Purdue with Zach Edey. The Fox app, Northern Arizona at number 6 UConn. I have UConn by 34. And it's 25.5. I'm going to lay it with UConn. Next up, you have Tennessee Tech at number 9. Tennessee have Tennessee by 32. And it's 31.5. Totals 134.5. I'll take the over blind. 7 o'clock NJIT at number 13 Miami. I have Miami by 45.5. And it's 24.5. Totals 143.5. I'm laying the points in Miami. Whoo, baby. NJIT stinks. I don't know why it's that low. Radford at number 19, North Carolina on the ACC Network. I have Carolina by 15. And it's 18.5. Totals 141.5. I'll take Radford in the points. A couple coming up you can skip. 40's SC State, Erskine Gardner Webb, Piedmont, Coastal Carolina, Champion Christian, UT Martin, King College, East Tennessee State, Mount Olive, UNC Wilmington. And now we have Delaware State, Penn State. I have Penn State only giving 7. That game is going to be on... I thought it would be on the Big Ten Network, and it's not. So, it's 19.5, total 138.5. I think Delaware State in the MEAC is actually going to be pretty good. I think they cover 19.5 against Penn State. Penn State's going to take a step back without... with their coach moving on to Notre Dame. They lost some key players. Next couple, we can skip Trinity Baptist, Stetson, Johnson, Florida, Jacksonville, North Greenville, Furman. Clark, Atlanta, Mercer, Malone, Kent State, St. Andrews, High Point, Toccoa Falls, Charleston Southern, Washington, Lee, Davidson, Delta State, Southeast Louisiana, Brentford, Wofford, Confident, Chattanooga. And next up, you have Delaware, Bucknell. I have Delaware by 14 as my projection. And my FanDuel app is showing me Delaware by 6.5. So I'm going to lay the 6.5 on the road with Delaware. Next few we can skip. St. Mary's of the Woods, Indiana State, Penn State, Wilkes-Barre, Norfolk State. Next up, Holy Cross, Siena. Siena by 1. And interested to see what this line is, because this is a small favorite I project here. 6.5 for Siena, total 137.5. I'm going to take Holy Cross getting the points against Siena. They might win outright. Immaculata Rider, we can skip. Cleveland State, Duquesne. Duquesne 23 is my projection. And we have here 10.5 and 141.5. I'm going to lay the points to Duquesne. USC Upstate in South Carolina. I have South Carolina by 6. I'm interested to see what this is. 12.5. Totals 149. I'm taking Upstate, getting the 12.5. Hampton Howard. I have Howard 17. And Howard is favored only by 7.5. I'm going to lay the points at Howard. Howard should be the best team in the MEAC this year. Chicago State, Bowling Green. I have Bowling Green by a whopping 25.5. And we have 8.5. Only 8.5. Totals 146.5. I'm laying the points with Bowling Green. Vasariel, we could skip. An interesting one on Peacock. Princeton, Rutgers. New Jersey battle. Rutgers, I have as a 11-point favorite, and they're only giving 4.5. A lot of people think they're taking a step back this year. I don't know about that, so I'm going to lay the points with Rutgers. If that was bettable in New Jersey, I'd bank it on Rutgers. Central Connecticut and Rhode Island. I have Rhode Island only by 3. And they're probably favored more than that. I'm just down on Rhode Island. They're not the kings of that conference anymore. 10.5. The line totals 133.5. I'm taking Central plus the 10.5. Next few we can skip. Carroll MT, Utah Valley, Mocker Liberty, Coastal Georgia, North Florida. We can skip all those. All right, Winthrop, Clemson. I have Clemson by 12. And it is 14.5 totals, 146.5. I'll take Winthrop plus the points. Monmouth, George Mason. I have George Mason by 17. Over the Hawks. And we don't have a lineup for that game yet. But let's get back to that one. All right, we can skip Ferrum, East Carolina. Next up, the Citadel, NC State. I have NC State 21.5. Or I'm sorry, 13.5, 21.5. Is that what it actually is? It might. Yes, total's 145.5. I'm taking Citadel, getting the points. All right, UMBC, Louisville. I have Louisville only by 2.5. I don't think Louisville's going to be very good, obviously, as I allude to in my preview podcast. 9.5 and 142.5. Give me UMBC getting the points. Niagara, Notre Dame. I have Notre Dame only by 5. And Notre Dame is giving 8.5 totals, 125.5. I'm taking Niagara in the points. Virginia Wesleyan, Old Dominion, we can skip. Queens, Marshall. I have Marshall by 8. It's 6.5 totals, 158.5. That's a high total. I can see that going over. Sunbelts are usually overs. North Dakota State, Western Michigan. I have North Dakota State by 15.5. And it's 3.5 totals, 141.5. I'll lay the points. UMass Boston, Harvard, we can skip. Columbia, Providence on the Fox app. I have Providence by 27. And Providence is giving 18.5 totals, 144.5. I'll lay the points. Sarah Lawrence, Sacred Heart, we can skip. Detroit, Toledo. I have Toledo by 20. And Toledo should be given points. And they are 16.5 totals, 153.5. I'll lay the points with Toledo. Brown, Colgate, I have Colgate by 9. And Colgate's giving 7.5 totals, 146.5. I am going to take, what's a tough total? I'm going to go with the over. I don't feel good about it, though. Colgate's usually an over. Iona, Charleston. Charleston by 10 is my projection. And it's 7.5 totals, 150.5. I'm laying the points of Charleston. That's low. Oklahoma, Ohio State. I have Ohio State 19. And it is 19.5 totals, 144.5. Ooh. That's an over, too. Maine, Colgate. I have Maine 11. Or, I'm sorry, Maine, Charlotte. And Charlotte's giving 7.5 totals, 131.5. All right, this is the first time I like an underdog. Giving Maine getting the 7.5 and plus 270 outright. I think Charlotte is in for somewhat of a down year and with the move to the AC or the AAC. NC 18, Pitt. I have Pitt 29. And Pitt is giving 24.5 totals, 142.5. I'm going to leave the points of Pitt. Lafayette, St. Joe's, so a Pennsylvania battle, Philly battle. Or no, it's a Pennsylvania battle. I was thinking of LaSalle. St. Joe's is giving 26. And St. Joe's is 14.5 totals, 139.5. I'm going to lay the points. SIU, Edwardsville, and Dayton. I have Dayton 16. And it is 15.5 total is 135.5. Ooh. I'm actually going to go under with this total. I know it's low, but it's telling me under. OVC is usually an under. Dayton's usually an under. McNeese, VCU. I have VCU 12. And it's 10.5 totals, 144.5. I'm going to go with the over here, but I don't feel good about it. Missouri State, West Virginia. I have West Virginia 22, and it's 4.5. That's low. I'm laying the points of West Virginia. That's extremely low. My gosh. They're just too down on them because of no Huggins. Tarleton State, Virginia. I have Virginia 29. And it is 16.5 totals, 124.5. I'm going to lay the points with Virginia. Longwood, St. Bonaventure. I have St. Bonaventure by 29. And it comes to 11.5 totals, 134.5. I'll lay the points with St. Bonaventure. VMI, Richmond. I have Richmond 18. And it's 17.5 total is 142.5. I kind of like the under in that one. New Hampshire, Syracuse. I have Syracuse by 20. And it's 16.5 total is 142.5. I'll lay the points with Syracuse. All right, 7:30. You have American at number 22, Villanova. I have projected Villanova 21. This game's on the Fox app. And it's 21.5 totals, 134.5. Oof, over. Next couple we can skip. Southwest Adventist in Texas Rio Grande and Dallas Christian Northwestern State. All right, Manhattan, Bryant. I have Bryant by a whopping 25.5. And it's 11.5. Total's 144.5. Oof. I'm laying the points at Bryant. That is way too low. Manhattan's going to be awful this year. Cornell, Lehigh. I have Lehigh by 8. And it's, oh my God, Cornell's favored. Total's 150.5. Woof. Give me Lehigh plus 6.5 and plus 240 outright. That's ridiculous. Let's just make sure I had that line correct. Yeah. That's crazy. Georgia Southern, Georgia Tech. I have Tech 14, and it's 10.5. Total is 142.5. I'll leave the points with Tech. Regent, William Mary, we can skip. Maryland Eastern Temple. I have Temple by 8. And it's 14.5. Total is 132.5. I'm going to take Eastern Shore plus 14.5. I think Eastern Shore might be a little improved this year in the MEAC. Fairleigh Dickinson, Buffalo. I have Fairleigh Dickinson giving 4.5, and Buffalo's giving 5.5. I'll take Fairleigh Dickinson plus the points and the underdog money line there too. Towson, Colorado. On the Pac-12 Network, I have Colorado by 22. It's 14.5. Totals 139.5. I'll lead the points. All right, New Jersey battle. St. Peter's, Seton Hall on the Fox app. I project Seton Hall by 25 points. I don't see a line for that game. Wagner Fordham. All right, I project Fordham by 30. And Fordham's only giving 10.5. Total 129.5. I'll lead the points. Merrimack in Vermont. I have Vermont by 21. And it's 13.5. Totals 130.5. I'll lead the points. Millsaps, New Orleans, Coast Guard, Quinnipiac, we could skip. Lipscomb, Wichita State, I have Lipscomb 8.5. And it's Wichita 6.5, totals 143.5. This is another underdog money line I like to win outright, so give me Lipscomb plus 6.5 and plus 250. Georgia State, Belmont. I have Belmont 4.5, and it's 7.5, totals 146.5. Give me Georgia State getting the points. All right, 8 o'clock. NC Central, number 1, Kansas. I have Kansas by a whopping 42. And it's 29.5, totals 140.5. Whew, I'm going to lay the points at Kansas. That's low for Kansas. All right, UL Monroe at number 7, Houston. I have Houston by a whopping 41. It's 29.5, totals 134.5. I'll lay it with Houston. Alcorn State at number 14, Arkansas. I have Arkansas 27. And it is, can't find that one. I can't find that one at all. Alcorn State, Arkansas. That's bizarre. Oh, I found it. 24.5, total 143.5. I'll lead the points at Arkansas. A&M Commerce at 15, Texas A&M. I have A&M by 26.5. And it's 21.5 and 138.5. I'll lead the points at Texas A&M. Mexico State at number 16, Kentucky on the SEC Network. I have Kentucky 35.5. And it's 16.5, totals 141.5. I'll lead the points at Kentucky. Incarnate Word at number 18, Texas. I have Texas by a whopping 45.5, and it's 31.5 and 143.5. I'll lead the points. Morehead State at number 24, Alabama. I have Bama by 17. And Alabama is giving 21.5, totals 144.5. I'll actually take Morehead State getting the point. Eastern Illinois, number 25, Illinois. I have Illinois by a whopping 45. And it's 28.5 and 141.5. I'll lead the points with Illinois. We can skip North Texas, Dallas, Grambling, Mobile, South Alabama, Wisconsin, South Milwaukee. Next up, Southern Indiana against St. Louis. I have St. Louis by 29. And it's 15.5, total 147.5. I'll lay the points with St. Louis. Texas State and Little Rock. I have Little Rock by 8, but Texas State looks like they're favored. Yes, by 1.5. Total's 140.5. Give me Little Rock plus 1.5 and minus 104 outright. William Carey, Southern Miss, Kentucky State, Southern Illinois. We can skip. All right, next up, Navy Campbell. I have Campbell by 9, and it's 2.5. Total's 127.5. I'll lay it with Campbell. Earl Roberts in Texas Arlington. I have Earl Roberts 13.5. And let's see. Earl Roberts better be favored. It'd be absolutely ridiculous if they're not. Barring, like, some big injuries. Oh, my God. Arlington's giving 1.5. That's fucking bullshit. Give me Roberts plus 1.5 and plus 104. Oh, my God. Texas Arlington? Come on. Alabama State, Ole Miss. I have Ole Miss 23. And Ole Miss is giving 22.5. Totals 136.5. Over. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Missouri. I have Missouri by 22. It looks like Missouri is giving 24.5. Or 25.5 and 148.5. Give me Pine Bluff plus the points to cover. Or we can skip Trinity Christian, Valpo, and Midway, Murray State. BU, Northeastern. I have BU favored by 1 on the road. And Northeastern's giving a whopping 8.5. Totals 131.5. Give me BU plus 8.5 plus 330 outright. That's crazy. Northeastern's giving that many points. Warner Pacific, Idaho State. We skip Western Illinois, UTSA. I have UTSA by 1. And it's 6.5. Totals 144.5. Give me Western plus the points. Miami of Ohio, Evansville. I have Miami of Ohio by 9. And it's 3.5. Totals 142.5. I'll lay the points of Miami of Ohio. Bradley, UAB. I have UAB by 14.5. And UAB is giving only 4.5. That's crazy. Give me UAB minus the points. All right, Arkansas State, Wisconsin. I have Wisconsin 31, and it's Wisconsin 14.5. Totals 103.5. I'll lay the points of Wisconsin. Mississippi Valley State, LSU. Have LSU by 32. And it's, why don't I see a line? There must have been an injury. That line's taken down for the time being. Marist Army, I have Marist by 8. And I know that line's low. Yeah, Marist 1.5, total 135.5. I'm going to lay the points with Marist on the road. Central Michigan, Oklahoma, I have Oklahoma by 30. That was locked last I saw. And we don't have a line. There must be, like, injuries that we're unaware of. Coppin State, Virginia Tech. I have Vautech 19. And it's 27.5. Totals 139.5. I'm going to take Coppin State plus the points. Jackson State, Memphis. I have Memphis 13. It's 21.5. And 147.5. I'll take Jackson State getting the points. Avila, UMKC. Jarvis Christian, we can skip. Eastern Michigan, Butler. On the Fox app, I have Butler 25. And Butler is giving 16.5. Totals 139.5. I'll lay the points. Elon Wake, I have Wake by 8. And trying to find this line, guys. 19.5 and 141.5. I'm taking Elon getting the points. Stonehill, George Washington. I have George Washington by 22. And it's 11.5. Totals 142.5. I'll lay the points. Florida's Illinois State. We can skip. Robert Morris, Xavier. On the Fox app, I have Xavier 29. And it's 16.5. Total 143.5. I'll lay the points. Fairfield, BC. I have BC by 10. And it is BC minus 13.5, total 132.5. I'll take Fairfield getting the points. Loyola, Maryland, Florida. I have Florida by 21, and it's 20.5, total 141.5. Over. FIU, UCF. I have UCF by 11.5. And it's 10.5 and 139.5. That's a hard total. But I'm going to go over, but I don't feel good about it. Green Bay, Iowa State. I have Iowa State by 41. It's 26.5 and 131.5. I'll lay the points. Lindenwood, Nebraska. I have Nebraska 22. And it's 22.5 and 142.5. I'll take the over. Bethune-Cookman, Minnesota. I have Minnesota 19. And it's 17.5, total 138.5. I have, I don't feel good about this total. But on principle, I'm going to go with the over because I think Minnesota's going to score over Bethune. Northwestern, Binghamton. I have Northwestern 22.5. And Northwestern is giving 18.5, total 135.5. I'll lay the points. Central Arkansas, Tulsa. I have Tulsa by 8. And it's 10.5 and 147.5. I'll take Central plus the points. Life University, Austin Peay. We can skip. All right, 8:30. James Madison at number 4, Michigan State on the Big Ten Network. I have Michigan State by 23. And they're giving 16.5 and 146.5. I'm laying points. Northern Illinois, number 5, Marquette on the Fox app. I have Marquette 26. It's 23.5, total 150.5. I'll lay the points. Kentucky, Wesleyan, WK, we can skip. As well as 5th, Tennessee State. Southwest Assemblies of God, SMU. All right, Northern Kentucky and Middle Tennessee State. I have Middle by 6, and it's 4.5, totals 133.5. Over, don't feel good about it, though. Youngstown State, Louisiana. I have Louisiana by 12, and it's 3.5 and 150.5. I'll lay the points. That's a low number. Dwayne, Omaha. Blue Mountain, North Alabama. Skip both of those. All right, 9 o'clock. ACC Network, Dartmouth, and number 2, Duke. I have Duke by 35. And it's 27.5 and 142.5. I'll lay the points at Duke. William Jessup, UC Davis. We can skip. So is McMurray, UTEP. App Christian and Oklahoma State. I have Oklahoma State by 17. And it's 10.5 and 140.5. I'll lay the points. Mount Mary College, South Dakota. Houston Christian, BYU by 13. And it's 33.5 and 154.5. Yikes. Give me Houston Christian plus the points. That's a lot. Southeast Missouri State, Grand Canyon. I have Grand Canyon by 19. And it's 17.5 and 143.5. I'm going to take the over, but I don't feel good about it. All right, next up, Nichols, Tulane. I have Tulane 22.5. And it's 15.5 and 152.5. I'll lay the points. St. Thomas, Cal. I have Cal by 14. It's 9.5 and 141.5. I'll lay the points at Cal. Northwest Indian, Montana State, we can skip. Southern TCU, I have TCU by 30. And it's 27.5 and 138.5. I'll lay the points. UIC, Cincinnati. I have Cincinnati 31. And it's 14.5 and 142.5. I'll lay the points with Cincy. Akron, South Dakota State at 9:15. I have Akron by 1. And it's South Dakota State 1.5. Total is 141.5. I'm going to take Akron plus the 1.5 and plus 102. Morgan State at number 12, Arizona at 9:30. Pac-12 Network. I have Arizona by 39. And it's 31.5 and 140 or 154.5. I'll lay the points. South Dakota Tech and Utah State we could skip. Portland State Air Force. I have Air Force as a 9.5-point underdog, and they're favored by 6.5. Total 137.5. Give me Portland State plus 6.5 and plus 250 outright. There's a couple of underdogs I like to win outright tonight. Maybe I'll round robin them. Colorado College and Northern Colorado. You could skip. Eastern Washington, Utah. I have Utah 17.5, and it's 12.5 and 143.5. I'll lay the points. Texas Southern, New Mexico. I have New Mexico by 12, and I don't know why. All right, 16.5 is the number. I'm going to take Texas Southern with the points. Another game from Vegas, SC against Kansas State. Probably the best game on the board. I have SC by 8. The game's on TNT. It's 2.5 and 145.5. I'm gonna lay 2.5 with USC. It's technically a home game for them. Stanislaus State and number 23 St. Mary's and Laverne Cal Poly we could skip. Next up we have Southern Utah Bakersfield. I have Bakersfield 9.5. And it's 4.5 and 135.5. I'll lay the points. Instead of San Fran, we can skip La Tech, Colorado State. I have State by 13.5, and it's 9.5 and 140.5. I'll lay the points. San Fran State, Cal Baptist, and Concordia, Irvine, Pepperdine. We can skip. Sam Houston Pacific. I have Pacific by 14, and it's only 1.5. Totals 139.5. I'll lay the points in Pacific. All right, 10:30. Cal State Fullerton, number 17, San Diego State on Fox Sports 1. I have San Diego State by 20.5, and it's 14.5 and 132.5. I'll lay the points. Fresno Pacific, Fresno State, we skip. Denver, San Diego, I have San Diego by 10, or UC San Diego, and it's 6.5 and 147.5. I'll lay the points. All right, Long Beach State, Portland. I have Portland by 2. And it's Long Beach State by 2.5, total 158.5. I'll take Portland plus 2.5 and plus 118 outright. Sonoma State, San Diego, we can skip. All right, 11 o'clock, Cal State, Northwood, Stanford. I have Stanford by 31. It's 21.5 and 144.5. I'll lay the points. Idaho, Wazoo. I have Wazoo 23. And where is this game? Oh, there it is. 21.5 and 136.5. That feels like an under. I'm going to go under there. Bellarmine, Washington at 11:30. I have Washington by 23.5. And it's only 10.5 and 135.5. I'll lay the points. And then last but not least, Pac-12 there, San Fran, PA, UCLA. UCLA should be ranked. I'm surprised they're not ranked. I have this by a whopping 51 for UCLA, and it's 29.5. I'm going to lay the points with UCLA. Ooh, that was a while. All right, NBA. We will go over the results from the weekend and look ahead to a large slate for tonight with everybody off tomorrow for Election Day. All right. So, Friday. In-season tournament, Group B, Bucks over the Knicks, 110-105. Group A play, Pacers over the Cavs, 121-116. Group B play, Heat over the Wizards, 121-114. Group C play, Nets over the Bulls, 109-107. Western Conference Group C play, Warriors over the Thunder, 141-139. That was the best game of the early in-season tournament. West Group B, Nuggets over the Mavs, 125-114. And West Group A, Blazers over the Grizzlies, 115-113 in overtime. All right, Saturday, Sixers over the Suns, 112-100. Hornets over the Pacers, 125-124. Magic beat the Lakers, 121-101. That was an impressive win. Hawks over the Pelicans, 123-105. Celtics over the Nets, 124-114. Rockets over the Kings, 107-89. That was also pretty impressive. Timberwolves over the Jazz, 123-95. And the Nuggets over the Bulls, 123-101. All right, Sunday, Suns over the Pistons, 120-106. Raptors over the Spurs, 123-116 in overtime. Cavs over the Warriors, 115-104. Mavs over the Hornets, 124-118. And the Grizzlies over the T-Wolves. Or the Blazers, my bad, 112-100. So, back-to-back with Grizzlies Blazers. So, Grizzlies done in Portland this year already. Only 2 games there. All right, like I said at the top of the segment, a ton of games tonight. 12 to be exact. First up, 7 o'clock, Warriors Pistons. I have Pistons as a 13.5-point underdog. Total 223 3/4. And it's 7 and 224.5. I'm going to lay the 7 with Golden State. Spurs Pacers. I have Pacers by 12, total 240 1/4, and it's 8.5 and 238.5. Woo! I'm going to lay the points with Indy. Mavs Magic. I have Pick'em in 225 7/20, and it is 1.5 and 224. Very close call. Slight lean Dallas. Don't like the play though. Wizards Sixers. I have Sixers by a whopping 19.5, total 230 3/5, and it's 11 and 229. I'm going to lay 11 with Philly. All right, 7:30 Bucks Nets. I have Bucks 10.5, total 232 and 11/20, and it is 5.5 and 233.5. I'm going to lay the points with the Bucks on the road. NBA TV tonight, Lakers Heat. I have the Lakers by 3, total 223 2/5. And it's the Heat by 1, total 222.5. Whoa. Just because they made the finals last year, they're favored over Lakers. BS. Give me the Lakers plus the 1 and even money outright. Clippers Knicks. I have Clippers by 1, total 218 3/5, and that's with James Harden. And the Clippers are favored by 1.5, total 222.5. I'm going to take the under. 8 o'clock Jazz Bulls. I have the Bulls by 1, total 224.5. And Bulls by 4, total 223. I'm going to take the Jazz getting the 4 to cover. Kings Rockets. I have the Kings only getting a half, total 223 1/5. And I keep forgetting no Fox for Sacramento. 1.5 and 217.5. I love the over in that game. Even without Fox. Celtics T-Wolves. I have the Celtics by 5.5, total 221 3/5. And it's 4 and 222.5. Very, very close. Slight lean to the Celtics. Hawks Thunder. I have the Hawks 2.5, total 235 7/20. And it's 3.5 and 238. I like the under. And then last but not least, 9 o'clock Pelicans Nuggets. I have the Nuggets 12.5, total 219 1/4. And it's 6.5 and 221. I'm going to lay the 6.5 with the Denver Nuggets. All right, now we'll move on to the NHL. We'll go over the results from the weekend and look ahead to the slate for tonight, which I think is a small slate. I could be wrong. So, Friday, Flyers over the Sabres 5-1, Blues over the Devils 4-1. Saturday, Preds over the Oilers 5-2, Jets over the Coyotes 5-3, Sabres over the Leafs 6-1, or 6-4, my bad. Lightning over the Sens 6-4, Red Wings beat the Bruins 5-4, Caps over the Jackets 2-1, Blues over the Habs 6-3, Kings over the Flyers 5-0, Hurricanes over the Isles 4-3 OT, Blackhawks over the Panthers 5-2, Canucks over the Stars 2-0, Wild over the Rangers 5-4 in a shootout. Golden Knights beat the Avs 7-0, but that's an impressive win. Pens over the Sharks 10-2, Flames over the Kraken 6-3. How bad are the Sharks? They're hapless. Devils over the Blackhawks 4-2, and the Ducks over the Golden Knights 4-2. So everybody's lost in regulation now with Boston and Vegas finally losing. All right, 4 games. I was right. NHL Network tonight, 7. Lightning Leafs. Good game. Playoff rematch. Leafs minus 156. Lightning plus 130. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Lightning plus 1.5 is minus 182. Leafs minus 1.5 is plus 150. This is a hard one, but I'm going to go with the Maple Leafs over 3.5 goals at a juice minus 118. Blue Jackets, Panthers. I have Panthers minus 220. Jackets plus 180. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 160. Unders minus 102. Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 128. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 106. I'm going to lay the puck line with the Panthers plus 106. 8 o'clock, Bruins Stars, great game. Maybe the Stanley Cup final preview. I'm willing to admit defeat again with the Bruins. Stars minus 144, Bruins plus 120, over under 5.5, overs minus 112, unders minus 108. Bruins plus 1.5 is minus 215, Stars minus 1.5 is plus 176, under. And 10 o'clock, Oilers Canucks. Oilers minus 120, Vancouver even money, over under 6.5, overs minus 160, unders plus 130. Edmonton minus 1.5 is plus 198, Vancouver plus 1.5 is minus 250. Keep getting the front runner Oilers favoritism and keep underselling the 8-2-1 Vancouver Canucks. Give me Vancouver at even money to knock off Edmonton. All right, now move on to soccer. We will go over the results from the weekend, look at everything today. We'll begin with the MLS playoffs. Saturday, Red Bulls, Cincinnati 1-1 draw, but Cincinnati wins 8-7 on penalties, and they win the series 2-0. So they do the penalty kicks outside of a Game 3. And then Dallas beats Seattle 3-1 to force a Game 3. Sunday, KC over St. Louis 2-1 as KC wins that series. And LAFC defeats Vancouver 1-0 as LAFC wins that series. So LAFC, let's see if the on switch is really on for them. All right, tonight at 9 o'clock, Salt Lake, Houston, Game 2. Houston won Game 1. Salt Lake's plus 125, Houston plus 180, draw plus 270. Salt Lake needs the game. This is obviously the 4-5. Salt Lake's home, but the case against them is that they're a -2 on the season. That's not good. But I think they at least force a Game 3, so I'm going to take them at plus 125 to knock off Houston to force the Game 3. All right, the results from women's. So the semifinals, Gotham over Portland 1-0 in extra time, and OL Reign over San Diego 1-0. So the final will be Saturday night, Seattle and New York. So that should be a lot of fun. German Bundesliga from the weekend, Bochum over Darmstadt 2-1. Friday, Saturday, Frankfurt over Union Berlin 3-0. Cologne Augsburg 1-1 draw. Mainz over RB Leipzig 2-0. Friedberg Gladbach 3-3 draw. Leverkusen over Hoffenheim 3-2. And Bayern over Dortmund 4-0. And then Sunday, Wolfsburg Bremen 2-2 draw. And Heidenheim over Stuttgart 2-0. Liga MX. Friday, Puebla over Leon 5-4. Saturday, Tigres Athletic San Luis 2-2 draw. America over Tijuana 3-0. Monterrey over Pachuca 2-0. And Guadalajara over Cruz Azul 1-0. Wow, this regular season's ending soon. That's crazy. Sunday, UNAM over Atlas 3-0. Necaxa over Mazatlan 4-0. Santos over Toluca 3-1. And Querétaro over Juarez 3-0. La Liga. Friday, Las Palmas over Atletico 2-1. Saturday, Girona over Osasuna 4-2. Betis over Mallorca 2-0. Celta Vigo Sevilla 1-1 draw. And Barcelona over Real Sociedad 1-0. Sunday, Alaves over Almeria 1-0. Valencia over Granada 1-0. Athletic over Villarreal 3-2. And Real Madrid Rayo 0-0 draw. And then today, 3 o'clock, the topic Cadiz. The topic is minus 120. Cadiz is plus 380. The draw is plus 210. I'm going to do over 2.5 goals at plus 168. I think that's good value. Serie A. Friday, Bologna over Lazio 1-0. Saturday, Napoli over Salernitana 2-0. Inter Milan over Atalanta 2-1. Udinese over Milan 1-0. Sunday, Monza over Verona 3-1. Cagliari over Genoa 2-1. AS Roma over Lecce 2-1. And Juventus over Fiorentina 1-0. And then today, 2 games, 12:30 of Frosinone and Empoli. Frosinone plus 120, Empoli plus 230, and the draws plus 230 also. I'm going Frosinone at home plus 120, 245, Torino and Sassuolo. Torino plus 105, Sassuolo plus 270, the draws plus 230. I'm going to go with the draw here at plus 230. French League 1, Friday, PSG over Montpellier 3-0. Saturday, Lorient Lens 0-0 draw, and Marseille Lille 0-0 draw. Sunday, Lions Mets 1-1 draw, Reims over Nantes 1-0. Strasbourg over Clermont-Foot. I'm sorry, that was a 0-0 draw. Le Havre AC over Toulouse 2-1. Monaco over Brest 2-0. And Nice over Rennes 2-0. The Premier League. Saturday, Man United over Fulham 1-0. Brentford over West Ham 3-2. Crystal Palace over Burnley 2-0. Everton Brighton 1-1 draw. Man City impresses 6-1 over Bournemouth. Sheffield United over Wolves 2-1. Newcastle over Arsenal 1-0. Yesterday, Nottingham Forest over Aston Villa 2-0. And Luton Liverpool 1-1 draw. And then today, 3 o'clock, you have Tottenham and Chelsea. Tottenham plus 130, Chelsea 2-1. The draws plus 250. Both teams have been hot, but Tottenham's home plus 130. All right, the ELC. Friday, Leeds over Leicester 1-0. Saturday, Birmingham Ipswich 2-2 draw. Bristol City over Sheffield Wednesday 1-0. Huddersfield Watford 0-0 draw. Southampton over Millwall 1-0. Plymouth Borough 3-3 draw. Preston over Coventry 3-2. Rotherham QPR 1-1 draw. Stoke Cardiff 0-0 draw. Swansea Sunderland 0-0 draw. West Brom over Hull 3-1. Then yesterday, Blackburn over Norwich City 3-1. Dutch Eredivisie. Saturday, PSV over Heracles 6-0. ACL Alkmaar over Excelsior. I'm sorry, that was 1-1 draw. Feyenoord over RKC Waldron 2-1. Go Ahead Eagles over Vitesse 5-1. Sunday, FC Utrecht FC 20 1-1 draw. NEC FC Volendam 3-3 draw. PC Zwolle over Fortuna 2-0. Ajax over Heerenveen 4-1. And Almere City over Sparta 2-1. And then we have USL. The Eastern Conference Final, Charlotte over Louisville 2-1. And the Western Conference Final, Phoenix over Sacramento 2-1. And the final will be on Sunday night on ESPN between Charleston and Phoenix. So we are looking forward to that. Okay, now move on to golf. We will go over the results from the WWT Championship. Your winner with the score of 27 under was Evan Van Rooyen. Tied for second with 25 under, Matt Kuchar and Camilo Vegas. Fourth with 24 under, Justin Sue. Tied for fifth with 22 under, Ryan Palmer and Andrew Putnam. Tied for seventh with 21 under, Mackenzie Hughes and Chasen Hadley. Ninth with 20 under, Carson Young. Tied for 10th with 19 under, Austin Cook, Nate Lashley, Sam Ryder, Ludwig Gayberg, and Ashke Bahita. Tied for 15th with 18 under, Patton Kazir, Matt Trainer, B.U. Hostler, Will Gordon, Doug Gim, Kramer Hickok, Davis Thompson, Taylor Pendrith. Tied for 23rd with 17 under, Austin Smotherman, Ben Griffin, Michael Kim, Scott Piercy, Austin Eckro, Nate Hardy, Justin Lauer, and Adam Long. Tied for 31st with 16 under, Estelonzo Goya, Jeffrey Kang, Taylor Montgomery, Martine Laird, Nicholas Echeverria, Lucas Herbert, and Max McGreevy. Tied for 38th with 15 under, Keith Mitchell, MJ Duffy, Ryan Moore, Matthias Schmid, Thomas Dietrich, Brent Grant, and Sebastian Vasquez. Tied for 45th with 14 under, Stefan Yeager, Luke Liss, Adam Svensson, Jason Duffner, Brian Stewart, Richie Rinsky, James Hahn, Cam Champ, and Roberto Diaz. Tied for 54th with 13 under, Cam Young, Brandon Wook, Young Lee, Kevin Tway, Lucas Griffin. Tied for 59th with 12 under, Robbie Shellen, Hayden Buckley, Vincent Whaley, Lucas Glover, Peter Malnati, and Cam Percy. Tied for 67th with 10 under, JJ Spawn and Paul Haley. Tied for 69th with 9 under, Russell Knox and Chase Johnson. 71st with 8 under, Kelly Craft, 72nd with 7 under. Chester V, 73rd with 6 under. Ryan Moore. And among those cut, Davis Lipsky, Brandon Gay, Henrik Norlander, Mark Hubbard, Robert Streb, Chase Goddard, Zach Blair, Harry Hall, Steve Thiglia, Davis Riley, Bryce Garnett, Jimmy Walker, Matthias Schwab, Kyle Westmoreland, Harry Higgs, Matt McNeely, Callum Tarrant, Sodi Kodiara, Andrew Landry, Tyler Duncan, Chung Sapong, Dylan Lingmerth, Michael Glidgick, Scott Harrington, Harrison Endicott, Dylan Fratelli, Ben Martin, Grayson Sieg, Ryan Gerard, Chris Kirk, Emiliano Grillo, Doc Redmond, Tyson Alexander, Nate Watney, Ben Taylor, Joaquin Herman, Trevor Cohn, and withdrawing from the competition was Brant Snecker. Okay, NASCAR weekend. The league championships. Interesting races for sure. We will start with the Cup Series, actually. So winning the race was Ross Chastain, coming in second, Ryan Blaney, third, Kyle Larson, fourth, William Byron, fifth, Chris Buescher, sixth, Martin Truex Jr., seventh, Kevin Harvick, eighth, Denny Hamlin, ninth, Michael Waddell, 10th, Bubba Wallace, the rest, Daniel Suarez, Austin Dillon, Eric Almirola, Ryan Preece, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, Carson Hocevar, Eric Jones, Ty Gibbs, Tyler Reddick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chase Briscoe, Kyle Busch, Harrison Burton, J.G. Ely, Ty Dillon, Justin Haley, Todd Gilliland, Corey LaJoie, A.J. Mundinger, B.J. McLeod, Ryan Newman, Austin Cindric, and Chris Bell. And the funny thing is that Ryan Blaney, though, won the championship. So Ryan Blaney, despite not winning the race, he won the season championship. And Kyle Larson came in second. Ross Chastain came in third. Actually, Byron came in third, Chris Bell fourth. I misread that. So, that sucks for Chris Bell, but he had a fabulous season. Nonetheless. And then Xfinity. Your winner of the race was Cole Custer, coming in second, Sheldon Creed, third, Justin Allgaier, fourth, Riley Herbst, fifth, Sam Meyer, sixth, Josh Berry, seventh, Austin Hill, eighth, Chandler Smith, ninth, Sammy Smith, 10th, Kaz Grella. The rest, Brennan Jones, Jeb Burton, Parker Retzlaff, Roger Carruth, Brett Moffitt, Parker Kligerman, Kyle Weatherman, Ryan Sieg, Dawson Cram, Jeremy Clements, Daniel Hemrick, Myatt Snyder, Jeffrey Ahern, Anthony Alfredo, Josh Williams, Ryan Ellis, Joey Gase, John Hunter Nemechek, Brendan Poole, Timmy Hill, Joe Graff Jr., Blaine Perkins, Stephon Parsons, Connor Mozak, Chris Hacker, J.J. Yeley, Derek Krause, and Kyle Sieg. And winning the season championship was indeed the winner of the race, Cole Custer. So congratulations to him. And Justin Allgaier came in third in the race, but came in second in the season standings. And then Sam Meyer came in third, and John Hunter Nemechek fourth. And now the Truck Series results. It's weird that I'm going backwards in this. I usually do the Truck first and then Xfinity. And then the Cup last. So the Truck Series, your winner for the race, Christian X second, Jake Garcia third, Chase Purdy fourth, Jesse Love fifth, Ben Rhodes sixth, Grant Effinger seventh, Dean Thomason eighth, Caden Honeycutt ninth, Tanner Gray 10th, Nick Sanchez the rest, Matt Crafton, Raja Caruth, Wallace Allen, Ty Majeski, Haley Deegan, Christian Rose, Spencer Davis, Corey Heim, Nick Lates, Tyler Hill, Colby Howard, Tyler Ankrum, Taylor Gray, Stuart Friesen, Zane Smith, Shane Hingarani, Jack Wood, Derek Kraus, Carson Ostvar, Stephon Parsons, Bailey Curry, Daniel Dye, Jake Drew, Connor Jones, Marco Andretti, and Chris Hacker. In the Drivers' Championship, Ben Rhodes wins, despite not winning the race. Christian X ended up winning the race. Grant Effinger second, Corey Heim third, Carson Ostvar fourth. So a fun NASCAR season to cover. And we'll be back at it with NASCAR in a short 3 months on the podcast. Okay, now we'll move on to the news and notes for today. I'm going to do this rapid fire style. The biggest story that came out of yesterday was in football. For the second consecutive week, a quarterback has a season-ending injury. The Giants fear that Daniel Jones has torn his ACL. That is just absolutely brutal. In a game where was winnable if he stayed on the field, but he probably took his last snap as a Giant, which is very, very sad. You never want to root for injuries in any sport, but they're probably going to have a top 5 pick, and they're going to end up with, like, Caleb Williams or Drake May or Michael Penix or Bo Nix, which is insane, but it's probably the reality of the situation. And Joe Shane was actually in Los Angeles for the Williams versus Penix game yesterday, Saturday, which makes sense with the Giants being in Vegas on Sunday. So, feel bad for Daniel Jones. Brutal injury. The Giants probably, there's a possibility they won't win a game for the rest of the season. Darren Waller on IR too with a hamstring injury. Dallas Goedert, forearm injury against the Cowboys. That's brutal. Josh Downs left the game against the Panthers due to a knee injury. Cam Akers has an Achilles injury for the Vikings. That's brutal. KJ Osborne ruled out with a concussion. With the crazy thing with that game was that Jaron Hall started, but he got concussed, so Josh Dobbs replaced him. Josh Palmer on IR due to a knee injury. Not great for the Chargers. Treylon Burks was in concussion protocol. Bad news for the Steelers. Cole Holcomb out for the season due to a knee injury. Big loss for them on defense. Kyler Murray, this is the last week that he could come off the PUP list. So we'll see. The Cowboys to host Martavius Bryant. The Raiders are an absolute disaster, but they kind of got off the schneid, took advantage of Daniel Jones getting injured, and got the win. And took advantage of the Giants getting rid of Leonard Williams on defense. So the team was divided after Josh McDaniels was upset for Antonio Pierce mentioning the 2007 Giants. Yikes. And then the firings of Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler cost the team $85 million. They're an absolute mess. And what else is that the Jets tried to acquire Devontae Adams from the Raiders, and the Raiders turned it down. But we don't know what the Jets offered, though. And you know they did that to appease Rodgers. How about this? George Pickens on Instagram on Thursday night after the game, free me, as he posted a cryptic story and deleted everything Steelers after a negative 1 yard game on Thursday. That's really immature of George Pickens. And he was the one that, oh yeah, you couldn't catch a ball in bounds. Yeah, that was you. And stop freaking complaining. I know your quarterback isn't the best, but you're not the best either, George Pickens, so just shut up. So Clayton Tune got the start. Against the Browns for the Cards yesterday. That did not go well. They got shut out. And then the Bears extend Montez Sweat 4 years, $98 million. I absolutely despised that deal for the Bears. Giving up a second-round pick to a team that's really bad in Washington. Good on Washington for taking advantage of the dysfunctional Bears. This reminds me of when Dave Gettleman traded for Leonard Williams. I believe it was in 2019, and the team wasn't very good. And granted, it was a third-round pick he gave up, but this is even worse than that because it's a second-round pick. Oh, my freaking God. And they extend him? Please, give me a break. Oh, my God. And here's another story that's going to rub me the wrong way. The Chiefs deliberately chose to play the Dolphins in Germany to avoid Tyreek Hill getting booed by the fans. Talk about fucking disgrace. Get over it, Chiefs. This is pre-Andy Reid dysfunctional Chiefs all over again. I'm shaking my head over this. This is immature. This is ridiculous. And the Chiefs are the spoiled freaking brats of the NFL. They get everything they want. Taylor Swift's involved with them now. And that was even before Taylor Swift got into the picture. That they've gotten everything they ever freaking wanted. Mahomes gets everything he wants. Andy Reid and that organization gets everything they want. And the league should have been hell no to that. But no. This makes me shake my head. Absolutely ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous Chiefs story I've heard since Andy Reid's been there. And that organization used to be a mess before Andy Reid showed up. And this was the dumbest story I've heard from the Chiefs in a long time. The Vikings want to re-sign Kirk Cousins as they want to bring him back despite the injury. We'll see. They might have to if they finish 9-8 and make the playoffs. They might have to by default. The Seahawks elevated Jason Peters to the active roster for the game against the Ravens. As Mike Lombardi said on a podcast, you know you're in trouble when you're signing Jason Peters. That guy's washed up. Patrick Mahomes is signed the 2028 Olympics, and so he wants to play flag football. An NFL referee made a call in German as he didn't want to miss his chance in Frankfurt. That was really funny. And the Vikings had Kirk Cousins shirts, which is amazing. The Eagles dropped a Christmas song as they covered a Mariah Carey classic. Jordan Mailata, Jason Kelsey, and the gang at it again. And it's official. Daniel Jones tore an ACL. When a team says it's a fear and torn ACL, he tore his ACL. So, again, I feel very bad for Daniel Jones. He probably won't take another snap for the Giants again. Now looking back, they probably shouldn't have extended him. But it was a move at the time they probably had to do because of how last season played out. But now they know last year was a fluke. They took advantage of the Rodgers-Packers situation going south and Brady getting old and all that jazz. Detroit wasn't there yet, although they did lose to Detroit last year. And another thing with the Giants, is Daboll the new Joe Judge? I don't think so, but it's a question that's been circulating around social media over the past several weeks. I don't think so because Joe Judge didn't make the playoffs with the Giants, and he had losing seasons in both his years. But the Daboll thing, Andrew Thomas was missing the whole season. Daniel Jones really wasn't healthy the whole year, and he had one good game the whole season, which was a game against a team that's tanking in Arizona. And Saquon Barkley was missing almost the whole season as well. So I would give Daboll another year, but unfortunately, I know this injury is very unfortunate, but what it does is probably gets Mike Kafka another year. And I think that he's done a terrible job this year. And I think Daboll's obviously done a bad job this year, given the expectations for the team and the fact that he was the coach of the year last year. I mean, quite frankly, he might be the NFC's Kevin Stefanski, which is better than Joe Judge, but not great. And the difference is that Stefanski actually has a really good team. Really a really good defense. All right, we'll move on to college football. Michigan fired Connor Stallions despite the sign-stealing scandal. You knew he was going to get let go. It's a matter of time before Harbaugh gets let go. And then he's going to go to the NFL. He's going to go to the Raiders, the Chargers, the Bears, or the Cowboys. And he's going to get suspended. Ricky Williams was celebrating his 25th anniversary of his Heisman win at Texas. That's pretty cool. How about this? USC fires defensive coordinator Alex Grinch after giving up 52 against Washington. That's crazy. So Harbaugh likely suspended, but Michigan proceeding with extension. I don't think he's going back there. No way. And back to SC, Caleb Williams got emotional with his family after the loss. I mean, it's not your fault that you score 42 and you give up 52. He did everything he could in that game. Listen, I don't think he's Patrick Mahomes, but his ceiling, I think, could be Joe Burrow, and that's great. And I think and Trevor Lawrence, I think, will probably end up being a better pro than Caleb Williams, but they could be, even. They'll be better than Josh Allen, I think, but not as good as Joe Burrow. I'm just that big on Joe Burrow. How about Nick Saban letting a former player know that he missed out after the LSU game? So some baseball news. Stephen Vogt has been hired as the Guardians' new manager, replacing Terry Francona. I like it. 3-year deal. I think this is where the league is going now, hiring former players that didn't play a long time ago. Skip Shoemaker, a good example. Hopefully he's a finalist for Manager of the Year. We're going to talk about that on tomorrow's podcast, because we really don't have time. But I'm going to make a list of my finalists for the awards and reveal them on tomorrow's show, because we actually have more time tomorrow to do that. The Gold Gloves were announced. But back to the Guardians, I think it's an excellent hire. So I think this is the new wave of where baseball's going. But we'll see where the Mets go. They're probably going to go with Counsell, which would be an excellent hire. We'll see where the Padres go. We'll see where the Angels go. So the Marlins hire raised GM Peter Bendix for top office role. So that's a big hire for Miami. Marcus Stroman opts out as he'll be a free agent. Clayton Kershaw had shoulder surgery as he's hopeful to return at some point next summer. That's not great for the Dodgers, assuming he goes back there. Whit Merrifield opted out of his Blue Jays contract. He was a disappointment in Toronto. He really was. Nate Lowe was shirtless at the World Series parade. That's pretty funny. Basketball news from this morning. Steve Kerr says that Paris Olympics will be his last as Team USA's head coach. That's not great. But I have one name in mind to replace him. His name is Eric Spoelstra. He's the best coach in the NBA right now. So, there we go. I was saying there we go regarding something else, not the Spoelstra thing. But yeah, Steve Kerr leaving Team USA after 2024. Andy Martino just tweeted from SNY, people involved in the process expect Craig Counsell to make a decision on where to manage today. It's probably going to be the Mets. It should be the Mets. And if it's not the Mets, then the Mets should be ashamed because they need a good manager. So a ton of baseball stuff. Dodgers declined Lance Lynn's $18 million option. He'll receive the $1 million buyout, become a free agent. Craig Counsell wants a big contract, and hopefully Steve Cohen does it. All right, Justin Turner declines $13 million option after opting out of the Red Sox. He's a free agent. The White Sox declined Tim Anderson's option, $14 million. Reds declined Joey Votto's option, so he's probably going to retire. Erod opts out of a $49 million deal at 3 years left. So he's now a free agent. Buck Showalter in play for the Angels job. Wonder if he's in play for San Diego too. Basketball stuff. James Harden will begin against the Knicks tonight for the Clippers. Wendell Carter out 3 weeks with a fractured hand. Brutal for Orlando. CJ McCollum has a collapsed lung. Will undergo additional examination to determine next steps. Not great for New Orleans. In women's soccer news, Emma Hayes to leave Chelsea as she is to pursue new opportunity outside of club football. So she leaves Chelsea. All right, last but not least, best bet of the day brought. This is one of the longest podcasts I've ever done. Perhaps the longest one ever. I have a lot of options for best bet. Because it's opening night in college basketball, that's where I want to go. There was a game that jumped out at me, but I don't want to go there because there's a lot of turmoil with West Virginia right now. So I won't touch it. But one I really like a lot is, well, I really do like a lot of them a lot. But I do like a couple dogs to potentially win outright. I mean, I want to bet against Louisville, but there's about like 4 or 5 dogs I like to win outright. Especially home dogs, but there are some slight favorites I like as well. And one of them being the Blazers of UAB. They're laying 4.5 against Bradley. So I'm going to take my chance. Quarter unit on UAB minus the 4.5 against Bradley for best bet. 10-point difference. Okay, so that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. We'll have a portfolio pick for you, and I'll have the college basketball season prediction show dropped for you at some point today. I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.